I mean one of three things. One is a home where you pay a social rent. Think of it as a council property. Two, it's a home where you pay a London living rent. That's a third of average local earnings. Or three, it's what I call shared ownership, part buy and part rent. But actually, for too many years now, the homes that have been deemed affordable, the few that have, aren't really affordable. I'm saying to developers, I'm saying to local authorities, my expectation is if you want me to approve an application, I want a certain percentage to be affordable, and by affordable I mean how I define it rather than the previous dodgy definition.
You want to go from 29,000 new homes in London to 66,000, and you want 65% of them to be affordable, whereas just now it's only 38%. By when? And by what measure?
So we've looked at London's population now, currently 8.7 million, by 2020 9 million, by 2030 at 10 million. So we've worked out what the needs of our city are, both annually and what percentage should be affordable. And the expert advice is we will need over the next period, every year, 66,000 homes over the next 20 years, and a significant number of those need to be affordable. I can't deliver that unless the government steps in and gives us the support we need.
So, Kensington and Chelsea, the development of 25 homes, half are meant to be affordable, none is, and the developers simply handed over £200,000 to the council. How'd they get away with that?
There are many examples, I'm afraid, of local authorities being hoodwinked by developers. A number of things. Firstly, a developer will come along during the course of a construction being built and say, you know what, it's no longer viable to build the small numbers of affordable homes we'd agreed to, and the council, for a number of reasons. Firstly, because they may lack the expertise to test the viability report. Two, because they're just soft and they're happy to be rolled over, will allow a developer to reduce the number of affordable homes.
Will you insist that people release brownfield sites?
I'm lobbying the government to get more powers around compulsory purchase. I've set up a new scheme to allow councils to borrow to assemble land around brownfield sites. That can often free up big pieces of land. We saw one example in Waltham Forest last year, but I want the powers, particularly in relation to surplus public land, in relation to brownfield site, to build the homes we need as a city.
The truth is, without government say-so, you have no power.
Absolutely right. I think we're the most centralised democracy in the Western world. When I compare my powers to the powers of the Mayor of New York, the Mayor of Tokyo, other mayors of great cities, I've got limited powers, but also Londoners have far fewer powers and far fewer say than Parisians or than New Yorkers.
You're the most powerful directly elected politician in this country, and you can't persuade Jeremy Corbyn of either complete adherence to the single market or indeed a second referendum and a deal.
Well, two things. Firstly, I mean, Jeremy Corbyn has made quite clear nothing's off the table, and I welcome that announcement from Jeremy Corbyn, Keir Starmer and John McDonnell. But secondly, look, Jeremy Corbyn's not the person negotiating, with the greatest respect, as much as I'd like him to, with the European Union. It's Theresa May and David Davis.
Yeah,
and
but come on, you can make him. You could put a bit of pressure on. For goodness' sake, you know, you're Mayor of London.
And I am. I meet David Davis regularly, and I met Theresa May a couple of weeks ago.
I mean pressure on Jeremy Corbyn to come and say everything's on the table, nothing's off the table. But why can't you get him to commit to staying within the single market and a second referendum in the deal?
Oh, well, Jeremy Corbyn's been quite clear. During the transitional deal, we want to stay members of the single market, stay members of the customs union, give a cast-iron guarantee to those in our country who are EU citizens who contribute hugely to our country. But the reality is, as much as I'd like, and the country would do better with Jeremy Corbyn negotiating with Michael Barnier and the European Union, it's Theresa May and David Davis. And I meet regularly with David Davis.
It actually might not make any much difference for you.
Oh, absolutely would. I'll tell you why, because there'd be a cast-iron guarantee to those Londoners. There's 1 million who are EU citizens, not sure about their future, 3.3 million across the country, not sure about their future. They get the cast-iron guarantee today. We'd have more certainty in relation to the transitional deal. There wouldn't be a cliff edge fall in March 2019, but also our parties not divided and split like the Tories. We'd be united behind our Prime Minister and the negotiators, Keir Starmer, to get a good deal for our country.
How concerned are you about the atmosphere at Westminster? We now know, of course, that there's this list of MPs and so forth. How do you react to that?
Well, I think the place where laws are made in our country, the mother of all parliaments, should be a beacon for how to behave and conduct yourselves. And whether you're a politician, whether you're a member of staff, whether you're a lobby journalist, you should be treated with dignity. You
probably heard Jess Phillips, the MP, talking about, on the left, the Labour left, being very prone and guilty of misogyny.
Well, I think the Labour Party is probably as bad as other political parties. I think most institutions are not great at dealing with concerns that people have around all sorts of behaviour that's unacceptable, whether it's sexist, whether it's racist, whether it's homophobic.
Well, we're in a situation now where we've got a government minister who doesn't deny getting his assistant to buy sex toys. Should he be sacked?
Yes. If he worked for me, he'd be sacked.
Sadiq Khan, thank you very much.